A ruling in the Senzo Meyiwa trial within a trial will be delivered in the High Court in Pretoria on Thursday. Judge Ratha Mokgoatlheng will rule on whether the alleged confessions and pointings out of accused number 1 and 2 will be admissible in the main trial. Muzi, Sibiya and Bongani Ntanzi have maintained, including when they took the stand in their own defense, that they never confessed to alleged involvements in the soccer stars' 2014 murder. Let's now speak to our SABC News Senior Reporter, Chriselda Lewis, who has been following the trial for us. Chriselda, of course, now all eyes on Thursday as to where this ruling is likely to go.
Well, that's right, Bongani, and you'd know that the trial within a trial has been sitting since October last year, where multiple police officers, including the lead investigator in this case, took the stand. So there are testimonies, these police officers, and that of accused number 1 and 2. Those police officers basically said accused number 1 and 2 were never assaulted. Muzi, Sibiya and Bongani Ntanzi both took the stand, as you indicated in that intro, insisting that they were assaulted and basically know nothing about the so-called confessions or the contents of those so-called confessions. So on Thursday, Judge Ratha Mokgoatlheng will rule on the matter, and accused number 1, Muzi, Sibiya, claims he was assaulted on multiple occasions. This was after his arrest on May the 30th of 2020, and he says basically he was forced to sign a prepared document before a police officer at the Diepkloof police station. And also the defense argued, that this is the version that the court must believe. Let's take a listen to what Sipho Ramusipile had to say there.
With respect to the admissibility of Exhibit FF, which will be my paragraph 6, my lord, regarding accused number 1, the objection as was raised, especially in this passage that Mr. Baloyi relied on, indeed does not contain the constitutional ground. And I'd like to put that frankly before this court, but the explanation has been proffered for the reason thereof. Now, the reason for the objection, as was constellated during the trial, my lord, for the admissibility of Exhibit FF for accused number 1 is that the statement was not obtained freely and voluntarily, since the accused person, accused number 1, was assaulted by the police officers who investigated this case. He was threatened with further assaults that should he not sign the pre-prepared statement that was handed to him at Diepkloof by Colonel Mboto, then further assaults will be perpetrated on him. And also, he testified that he was not informed of his constitutional rights.
And Ramusipile also says that the photos that were taken of accused number 1 during and after the alleged pointings out did little to assist the court. Let's take a listen to what was said there.
Those photos, I submit, are of poor quality for the purposes for which they were taken. They are too grainy, too far. There are no close-ups of the body to show whether there were any bruises, whether there were any cuts, my lord.
Well, the defense also maintained in court today, Bongani, that accused number 2's version should be believed. Bongani Ntanzi, you'd recall, denies ever confessing on the 19th of June 2020, as well as on the 24th of the same month, in the same year, to alleged involvement in Senzo Meyiwa's murder, and contends that he was assaulted by police. Let's take a listen to what was said there.
The lies don't work for me. I want to tell the truth, which is vehemently disputed by accused number 1. Accused number 2, sorry, my lord. Accused 2 was in the hands of police officers in handcuffs, deprived of sleep, deprived of comfort, because he says at some stage water was poured on him. When he went back to the cells, he couldn't sleep because it was very cold on the night in question, and shortly thereafter he's woken up to be taken to Ras. That, my lord, we submit, it's perpetuation of torture.
Right, of course, after the defense was done with its closing arguments, the state replied, basically sticking to its guns. Let's take a listen to what Advocate George Baloy, who is the state prosecutor, had to say there.
No assault had taken place, and that the accused rights in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution were explained to them. We've referred to the relevant exhibit. We therefore stand by the submission, my lord, that absent evidence of assault and that Section 35 rights were explained to the accused, then Section 35(5) has not been triggered, because the trigger for Section 35(5) is that it must be shown that a fundamental right as entrenched in the Bill of Rights has been infringed. And in our submission, my lord, the weight of the evidence in our submission is that the statements were not obtained in a manner that violates any right in the Constitution.
So the ruling in this trial within a trial expected on Thursday, as we indicated. And after that, you'll be asking yourself what happens. We're expecting the main trial to resume, Bongiwe.
All right, thank you very much, Chriselda, for that update.